It was a heck of a game. I think that's the very first thing. It was, I thought for 10 minutes we outplayed them. And then for 20 minutes, man, they just killed us with their athleticism. And Jordan and Pointer especially, we didn't have answers for them. And no matter what we did, we started the ball game trying to take away Harrison and Green, and we were okay with that. But then those two guys really came on, and the last 10 minutes, Plumlee and Jones just gave us. They gave us so many plays. I mean, Plumlee's defensive rebounding, and one big offensive rebound to keep an exchange going, and then Matt just played with an amazing heart. It seemed to bring even more heart out of Ja and Quinn and Tyus, and we played great in the last 10 minutes. And I'm not sure I've ever been a part of a game like that. It's kind of nuts, huh? You're involved with, I don't know, 1,400 games or whatever, 1,300, whatever, I've been involved in, and to have one that's different. That's what makes the game so good, and to do it here, just to win here, but to win the 1,000, you got to be a lucky guy, because this is again, I like my place, Cameron, but this is a magical place, and we beat a really good team and a storied program. That I've had respect for since I was a player in Army, a long time ago, 48, 49 years ago. Their program has stood the test of time, and so has ours. So to win in this setting against a storied program makes it even better. Any questions?
Wait for the mic, please. Questions?
Coach, you accomplished many milestones throughout your career. How you going to remember this day going forward?
Well, I'm glad it's over. We had, again, I'm honored. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm the lucky guy. I'm the lucky guy who's been at two great institutions, West Point and Duke, and I've had unbelievable support. I never had a day in 40 years where I worried about my back with my AD, superintendent, or president, and not many people can say that. And so, to win and do this now, and we had 6 days in between games. So there have been so many articles written. There are things that I didn't even remember about me. And, most of them were not that good either. Maybe that's why I didn't remember them. But the cool part about that is some of my buddies, Mo and Stosh and Father Rogue, and people, they get their names in there and they tell lies and well, some truths. And but to do it here and to have my family, I have 7 of my grandchildren here, 7 of my 9 grandchildren here, and 2 of my 3 daughters, and we've been a real family. And for my daughters and my wife, and Jamie's not here, but it's always been a family thing. We always call ourselves the starting 5, and we got 3 great sons-in-laws, and although there's always being judged, and 9 great grandchildren, and we've been a good team. We've been a really, really good team and a supportive team. So I'm glad that we're able to share it like that.
In the back, Coach.
Mike, how important was it to do it this way, with class, the right way?
Well, I hope we've always tried to do it with class and honoring the game. The game's bigger than anybody. And, when we shook hands before the game with Steve, for me, to shake hands and give a hug to Gene, who, when you talk about Gene Cady and people who have been great coaches and done it for the right reasons, and I've been lucky. I've been lucky to have health and being at good place, two great places. So there'll be others who will win more, and it's kind of neat to be the first one to 1,000. And the quality of competition that we've had, over half of our wins have been in the ACC or the NCAA tournament. And that's not even Maui tournaments and NIT and all that. So I'm proud of that too. That it's not just the number of wins, but the quality of opponents that we've had. And coaching at West Point and Duke have given me the opportunity to do that.
Right here, Coach.
Mike, when you got to 903, you said that should be a celebration of a point guard and his coach. What should 1,000?
I think it's this. First of all, I always am grateful to Coach Knight. I got a double whack of great stuff when I was a cadet. I went to the best leadership school in the world, the United States Military Academy, and I played for one of the great coaches of any sport ever. And that coach gave me a foundation, that school gave me a foundation, and then they've been incredibly supportive of me and have given me opportunities to meet others. It's not just what Coach Knight did, but the opportunities he afforded me, the opportunities West Point afforded me to meet other really outstanding people in leadership and coaching. And again, you're lucky. You get lucky. So I share today with all my former players and my assistants, and they're happy. My team was really happy, although they should be, because at halftime it wasn't happy. And that's the crazy thing about the game. I mean, why you would not think we were going to win, and then after it was gone, you would not think that we could lose. And just that. It's good having you here, man. All right.
Right here, Coach.
Mike, during that second half run, a few of your players said they saw you on one knee on their defensive possessions, and that they kind of felt that this was the time that they had to raise their intensity level. I mean, did you get a sense they needed that? Did you get a sense they were feeding off it at some point?
No, I don't think they fed off of me. I think they fed off of Plumlee and Matt Jones. Because if they fed off of me, we would have turned it around in the middle of the first half. I was at halftime. I sent a text out to destroy all the books I've written on leadership, because they weren't working. And just the fact those two kids really gave us an amazing spark. And we haven't used Marshall and Ja together, and we especially haven't used them with Pointer being the 4. And I don't know, I just said, let's put them in. And then we made a mistake right away. I said, we're going to lose by 30. And then, boom. It just, boom. It was great. And the emotion, as weak of looks as we had for 20 minutes, how it changed for 8 or 10 minutes. The looks on our team were unbelievable winning looks. And that's what the opponents saw, just like they saw weak for 20 minutes. And I've not been in a game like that. It just seemed like 3 different games. And so I'm proud of my guys.
Coach, your players have talked leading up to this about the energy that you still bring to things, and we've seen you revitalize the Olympic program. What is it that keeps it fresh for you at this age, and is there any end in sight for you, or do you just keep going?
No, there's an end in sight. I'm going to be 68 next month, and it'll end sooner than later, but hopefully not real soon. But as long as you do your job, you bring energy, right? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. And so, energy is not a matter of age; it's a matter of commitment to your position, to what you do. And as long as I'm doing it, I'm going to bring energy. I hope, you know, and I want people around me to give me energy too. And today they did. I mean, when my guys started going, boy, it was beautiful, really, to see them fight today and win.
Right here, Coach.
Coach, you already touched on, oh, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You already touched on a little bit, but you did win 999 6 days ago. You see St. John's next on your schedule, you know the Garden's going to be packed, your fans travel well. What's the first thing that went through your head knowing that you'd be playing in this atmosphere for this milestone?
Well, I knew it would be an incredibly tough game because you don't play for St. John's without knowing the tradition. And these kids, you know, I mean, Harrison and Green and these kids, they're good, but they're really good. And they had some interruptions for a while with Branch's injury and Jordan being away, and now they're back. And so we knew that this would be a big push for them. And, you know, the Garden was magical today, you know, with fans of both schools. And to see it, I don't know if it was sellout or whatever, but, you know, there was some magic, you know, and this place produces that, and we knew that St. John's would have that. So we thought this was going to be incredibly tough. Yo, are you quiet back there? The incredibly tough game, and it proved to be that way.
Right here, Coach.
Mike, there was a still shot that I saw. It was you and Coach Krzyzewski. That was today?
Coach Louis came by when we first got here.
Can you share with us anything about
No,
that?
he just came by, and it was good to, you know, I'm used to hearing y'all. And, you know, and how y'all doing? Hey, and he didn't say any of those things. Just, yeah, I love Coach Krzyzewski and what he's done for the game, and as brothers in this profession, he was just coming by to. What he said to me, he says, "Don't take the chandeliers." And I said, "You gotta be kidding me, man! I just hope we can take a ball home, and we'll leave the chandeliers."
Just a point of clarification, Mike. You said it felt like 3 different games. There was kind of the turning point when you guys were down 10 and turned it on. Was there another turning point in there?
Yeah, I thought when we were up 21-10, I thought that was the 3 different. Up until, like, we started out, we wanted to press because we wanted to get into Harrison and Green. Not press, but pick up. But then those other 2 kids, we got that 21-10, we kind of celebrated. They called a good timeout, and then it changed. And then it was their game, and then it was our game again. That's what I meant.
Right here, Coach.
Coach, you did this at Madison Square Garden. What are the feelings about potentially being a part of the history now? Your face is going to be up there every time they talk about college basketball at the Garden.
No, I mean, for me as a player, an Army coach, Duke coach, every time you set foot in the Garden was an honor. And it's an honor for every basketball player and for every coach, you know, and to do something, I think, you know, we've coached like 35 games or so now in the Garden, and then I coached some U.S. games in here. And actually I saw Carmelo after the game, and it was good to see him. And to be part of, you know, a small part of the history. You know, I mean, my picture will be up in one of the restrooms somewhere. So I'm sure but hey, it's up. It's up as long as it's not in a bad part in the restroom, and I'll be in good shape.
You mentioned earlier this week that the 1985 preseason NIT was one of your favorite moments here. With the way how your team battled back today, does this moment top that?
Well, we were a better team then, and you know, that team ended up almost winning the national championship. But those were the caliber of games when you're playing Mark Jackson and Walter Berry, and Berry's got 35 points, and Henderson makes 1 stop at the end of the game. We win by a point, and David is MVP on a team that was really celebrated to be Allery, Billis, and Amaker. For David to do it. Those are, just like today, really the celebration should be Plumlee and Jones. Yeah, and I mean, Tyus was unbelievable. I'm saying Matt Jones. because they did so it's a little bit similar in that regard. Although David's coach, I'm better than those guys, and he was.
Coach, congratulations.
I don't see. Oh, right here. Oh,
Congratulations. I know you've talked about Jaleel a lot. Can you just kind of assess how he played today and what his upside is going forward?
No, he has the biggest upside in college basketball, and he's a remarkable player and needs the attention of an entire team really to neutralize him, or at least 2 or 3 guys there. And their athleticism and toughness made it difficult, but then I thought he fought through it. And I was impressed with how many minutes he played hard. So it's hard to play well tired. The really good ones do that. That's what he did today. He's really tired, and then that one time where he showed that emotion, holy mackerel, what a, there's a lot. He's going to be one of the great players, and hopefully we'll get a lot out of him this year. But and he's a happy kid. A cool thing for us is the parents of these kids, and they're right behind the bench, and they are unbelievable. His family and the other families, they're so supportive and cheering, and they're not like for my guy or whatever. And he has that. He's a happy, tough, good kid, and he'll be a franchise player and a franchise person, for whoever's lucky enough to get him.
Okay, last question right there.
Coach, West Point classes are very close. Did you hear from any of your classmates before today?
Well, I hear from them a lot. I wasn't at our reunion this year, but because I came back from the World Cup and had to go out recruit. But about a week later, I was awarded the Marshall Award, and about 30 of my classmates were there. So, yeah, at West Point we have a brotherhood. Class of '69, best of the line, and I'm sure all of them share in this, and I'll hear from a lot of them. All right, thank you, and again, it's neat now. No more stories. Let's just about my past or whatever. I'm tired. One last story. Debbie, raise your hand. Okay, it's my oldest daughter. So in 2005, when I was into the Laker thing, and it was right at the beginning of July, so there wasn't that much going on in sport. So all of a sudden, this Laker thing took on like, it was crazy, and you were on all the time. And we had the mattresses out in our house, just bunkered in and trying to make decisions. And we're getting some food, and TV comes on, and I'm on. And Debbie says, "Dad, you're on again." And that's the way I feel about it. Like, that's it. Enough is enough. Otherwise you start throwing up. All right? Thank you very much. All right.